So I read the book Rose Under Fire. It was published in New York and in 2013. And so basically, it's a World War II book about the female carrier pilots that would ferry things over during World War II. And I thought it was really interesting perspective because I've never read a book from that perspective. And basically, the story is that she gets stuck, she gets captured, and taken to the famous women's concentration camp, Ravensbrück. And basically, she meets another pilot from the Soviet Union. She meets well, they were called rabbits, the Polish experimentation girls. And then she meets a French author that that was taken because her family was, well, her married family was Jewish, and then another French rabbit. But basically, she learns to survive in the camp, and it goes through her experiences and what she goes through, and her relationship with with her family, because there's like heavy themes of family in this book, because it's like extreme situations forge like um, extreme outcomes. But basically, I might recommend this book. It has a few quirks that I really did not like. Like, the main character does not curse at all, even though she's like in a concentration camp. She'll say things like, oh my gosh, or oh golly gee. And like people are getting killed and tortured, and I'm like, that's not very. It really takes you out of the tone, you know? It's just, it makes it seem like silly. But I like all the other characters, honestly. Honestly, most of the other characters are better than the main character. So they're really interesting. Something I did really like about this book is that it had a lot of information that's not widely known. Because I was constantly looking stuff up and be like, that can't be true. But it was true. And so that was really cool. But if you really like World War II novels, I would recommend you read this book. But if you're like like you don't know, World War II novels are kind of your thing, but it's only okay. I would not read this book because it's it's a good story, but it's not great. It's really just it's an okay book. Like, a bunch of things that are in it bother me. Like, I can read you out one of these things. She like just arrived in camp and she's getting pulled out of the truck by her hair, and she's like, oh my god, oh gosh, she's like, I bent down to look at my knees and curse, gosh darn it, and when I saw the humongous bloody holes in my stockings, gosh darn it, these are nylon. Like, just let her say god damn it. It would make it 10 times better. But yeah, if you really like World War II books, I would read it. If you don't, I wouldn't. So you really have to be into that genre, honestly. And it's historical fiction. There's way better historical fiction books. But if you like female protagonists in World War II, it's interesting enough.